Alrighty, what is going on YouTube? My name is Steve Spark and welcome back to another Marvel Movie Madness. Now, in the last video, we went over a non-spoiler review for Avengers Infinity War. Now, this is going to be the spoiler-filled review for Infinity War. So, you have been warned, massive spoilers ahead. And so this is going to be basically a scene-by-scene breakdown of Infinity War. Who died, what happened, what's going to happen, my predictions for Avengers 4, all that good stuff. So without further ado, let's get started. So Infinity War starts where Thor Ragnarok left off. Thanos attacks the Asgardian refugee ship and basically wipes out all of the Asgardians. Now, the first character death, like major character death that we see in Infinity War is Heimdall. Now, Heimdall was big in the Thor movies, but nowhere else. So he's kind of, if you haven't seen the Thor movies, he's not really a big character to you. But I love Marvel movies, personally. And I've seen every single one of them. So Heimdall had a big effect on me. And the fact that he died, that he was just killed by Thanos. So what started it was Loki was going to give the Tesseract over to Thanos. But Loki said, "We have a Hulk," which was a callback to the first Avengers, where Loki and Iron Man were in Stark Tower and they were talking. And Loki says, I have an army. And Tony says, "We have a Hulk." Now, that was a really cool callback. I thought that was really unique. Not unique, but you know what I mean. And so, yeah. So, Loki almost hands the Tesseract over to Thanos. But he says, "But we have a Hulk." And that's when Hulk goes in and tries to attack Thanos. And immediately off the bat, we see the power of Thanos. Now, Thanos has the Power Stone, but he doesn't use it against Hulk. Because I think Thor said like a week ago. About a week ago. Sorry. Anyway, he said like a week ago, Thanos absolutely decimated Xandar. And he stole the Power Stone from Xandar. So Xandar is completely wiped out. Nova Corps is gone. All that. That's done. So Thanos has the Power Stone. However, he does not use it against Hulk. He just uses his own brute strength to take down the Hulk. And it's incredible to see the amount of strength that Thanos has. This motherfucker is the size of Hulk, dude. It's crazy. But, yeah, so Hulk is down for the count. But he's still in his Hulk form. So Heimdall uses the last of his power and creates, what is it called? A cosmic bridge? Something like that. Well, he uses the Bifrost and he takes Hulk to Earth to warn the Avengers that Thanos is coming, which he does. And Thanos kills Heimdall with, I believe, Proxima Midnight's spear. Stabs it through his chest and Thor screams. And then Loki tries to stab Thanos in the neck after he claims his undying allegiance to him. But Thanos chokes Loki out and kills him. Drops his dead body right next to Thor. And that hit me, man. That hit me hard. Because I love Loki. Loki is one of my favorite characters. And he's really a fan favorite. So Loki's death really hit the fans hard. So that's the first scene. That's the assault on the Asgardian refugee ship, whatever you want to call it. And the scene after that, I believe, was Hulk crashing into the Sanctum Sanctorum in New York City. Doctor Strange and Wong are having some banter. It's great. They're talking about money and rupees and all that. And he's like, "I could go for a tuna salad." That was Wong. And Bruce slash Hulk slash Bruce crashes through the Sanctum Sanctorum right into the staircase, and he says Thanos is coming. And Doc is like, "Who?" It was great. It was great. I love this movie so much. If you hadn't been able to tell, this is all just from memory, seeing it once. And then after that, Doctor Strange creates a portal with the sling ring to Tony and Pepper after they work out and they talk about kids and all that. And Tony doesn't know who Doctor Strange is, so he's kind of like hesitant. And then Bruce steps through the portal and basically says, "Listen, Tony, this is dangerous. Everyone's dead. This is bad." And so Tony then goes to the Sanctum Sanctorum, talks with Doctor Strange, Wong, and Bruce about all this that's going on. And after they talk about it, and Bruce tells Tony about all of Thanos' destruction and all this, they walk outside, or Tony walks outside, and sees that Ebony Maw and Cole Obsidian have dropped down onto Earth with Thanos' Q-ships, which I love. I love the design of the Q-ships in the movie. They're beautiful. And yeah, they see Cole Obsidian and, what did I say? Ebony Maw. And so they're like, "Oh shit, hey, Earth is closed, go away, go home, pack your shit, leave." And Ebony Maw realizes the power that Doctor Strange holds. So he thinks that Doctor Strange is like the ruler of Earth. And he was like, "Does this creature speak for you?" And they have a little fight, and then switch the fucking screen to Peter Parker, not Quill, Spidey, in the school bus. And this is the first we've actually seen of his spider sense, which I love the way they did it. All of the hairs on his arms stood straight up. And it was a really good comedy bit. He was sitting in the seat behind Ned, and he was like, fucking smacked Ned's face. He's like, "Ned, I need you to create a distraction." That was great. I love that comedy. And as Ned's like, "We're all gonna die!" and they rush to the back. And that's when the Stan Lee cameo comes in. Stan is the bus driver for the kids. And he's like, "What's wrong with you kids? You've never seen a spaceship before." That's not how Stan Lee talks, but that's beside the point. And yeah. So Peter then swoops down, does his little Spidey thingy, and Cole Obsidian and Tony are in like a park. It looks like Central Park, but I'm pretty sure it's not. I don't know. We'll just say it's Central Park for the sake of having a solidified location. That was hard to say. So yeah, Tony in his new nanobot suit, which is absolutely fucking flawless. I love the nanobot suit. I love it so much. He just fucking goes like that, and it just, beautiful. Anywho, Cole Obsidian is about to smash Tony's head in when Spidey comes in, and he just holds Cole's hammer back. He's like, "Hey, Mr. Stark." And at this point in time, I believe Ebony Maw has restrained Doctor Strange, and he's following him. And Spidey proceeds to follow the two of them. Jesus! And Ebony Maw and Doctor Strange are sucked up into a tractor beam. I think Ebony Maw is. It looks like it, but at the same time, it's kind of... But yes, so Ebony Maw and Doctor Strange are caught in a tractor beam to beam them up into the Q-ship. "Beam me up, Scotty. I'm giving it all she's got, Captain." Sorry. Anyway. References. And Spidey happens to get beamed up in there. And he ends up on the outside of the Q ship, just like on the side of it. Like doing the Spidey thing. And Wong saves Tony by opening another portal and basically chopping his arm off. So it's great. It's pretty great. And where was I going with that? Shit, I lost my train of thought. Wow, this is why I don't do YouTube. Yeah, so Peter is on the edge of the ship. And as the ship is flying up into space, Peter starts to lose his breath and become like almost suffocating. And he loses his grip and starts to fall down the side. And that's when Tony launches I believe it was 17A armor. That's the Iron Spider. The introduction of the Iron Spider armor in this movie was absolutely flawlessly done. As he was falling, it strapped onto his back, nanobots surrounded him, and he was able to catch on to the side, which was great. Tony was like, all right, Friday, send him home. It was funny. And Peter ends up lashing himself onto the side. And as it's going up into space, he's able to go into the ship. And it's beautiful, man. It was so perfectly done. And as the Q ship launches, Tony, Spidey, and Doctor Strange are all on the Q ship. They're headed to Titan, I believe. Yeah. And there's a torture scene and all this. And Tony and Spidey end up killing Ebony Maw, which I was surprised at. Ebony Maw was a really powerful character from what it seemed. But they killed him just by doing an alien thing. And a beautiful pop culture reference again from Spidey. And it was Alien this time. So Tony blew a hole in the side of the Q ship. And Ebony Maw and Doctor Strange were both sucked out. Ebony Maw was not caught. Doctor Strange was. By Spidey. This was also when we first saw the Iron Spider legs, which, again, beautifully done, perfectly executed. All four of the legs lashed onto the side of the hole in the ship, and Peter was able to drag Doctor Strange back into the ship, which I thought was absolutely beautiful. It was, like I said, it's perfectly executed. And you're going to hear me gush over this movie a lot because it was perfect. It's perfect. But what happened after? Where am I going with this? What am I doing? What am I doing with my life? And then we see the wreckage of the Asgardian refugee ship. And Thor lands on the Guardian's windshield. And they bring him back to life. And they were asking what happened. And Thor basically told them everything he knew about Thanos. Which, again, beautiful. Yeah. And Thor and the Guardians end up splitting up. Thor, Groot, and Rocket, they all split up and go to Nidavellir. Yeah, Nidavellir. That's a fucking name. To make Thor the Stormbreaker, which was another reference to Beta Ray Bill. This is the second one we've gotten in the MCU. First one was on the God, what the hell was his name? Wasn't the Collector? It was fucking Jeff Goldblum's character in Thor Ragnarok. Why am I blanking on his name, dude? Jesus fuck. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Yeah, Beta Ray Bill's face was on the side of the building where all the Contest of Champions winners were. And that was along with Man-Thing and I believe one other. I don't remember who it was. I don't remember. And where was I going? Anyway, yeah. So at the end of that scene, the rest of the Guardians, Star-Lord, Gamora, Drax, and Mantis all go to nowhere to try and get the Reality Stone. Thanos ends up being there, but it's a warped reality because he's already gotten the stone. So they see him torturing the Collector, and I believe Gamora runs out and is talking to Thanos, and she stabs him. However, it's a fake Thanos, basically. And Thanos reveals the real reality, where all of nowhere is up in flames. It's completely demolished. And he uses the Reality Stone to turn Mantis into a ribbon, basically, and Drax into blocks, which he did in the comics, in the Infinity Gauntlet storyline. He turned Gamora, I believe, into ribbons. No, it wasn't, or I think it was Nebula that he turned into ribbons. And I don't remember who he turned into blocks, but he did that in the Infinity Gauntlet storyline, which was a great callback. And he takes Gamora with him, prisoner. So it's just left with Drax, Mantis, and Star-Lord. I forget where I was going with that. Yeah, so Gamora and Thanos are on Thanos' ship, and Thanos shows Gamora Nebula, and she's completely like taken apart, which is interesting. It shows just how many robotic parts or mechanical parts Nebula has, which is really interesting. Boy. Thanos then proceeds to torture Nebula to get Gamora to tell him where the Soul Stone is, which was the first thing we have ever seen on screen about the Soul Stone, which I loved. I loved it. It was on I don't remember the name of the planet it was on. It started with a V. But yeah, which was also a reveal of Red Skull. Red Skull was brought back into the MCU, which was absolutely beautiful. I'm so sorry about the breaks, guys. I'm sorry. Anywho, yeah, he was brought back into the MCU. The last time we saw him was in Captain America: The First Avenger, way back 7 years ago in 2011. And he was transported by the Space Stone, the Tesseract, to this planet to be the guardian of the Soul Stone. And what I thought was really interesting about this was the fact that Red Skull almost looked like a darker version of Marvel Comics' embodiment of death, which I thought was interesting. So we're not going to have any Thanos and Death make out scenes anytime soon, which is great. No one wants to see that. I got a little game for you guys. Take a shot anytime I say or have a pause longer than 5 seconds. You guys are gonna get fucked up. Anywho, it's hard not to say now. Shit. What happened after that? I believe Tony, Spidey, and Doctor Strange and all caught up with Drax, Mantis, and Star-Lord. It wasn't on Titan. It was on the ship, I think. And they had this little tiny fight. So they thought they were each party thought the other party was part of Thanos. So they had this big fight. Not big. But I thought it was pretty comedic the way that they revealed that each was good guys. He's on with the Avengers. The who? And you know what? I'm going to skip to the end. You guys need to go watch. See for yourselves. It's a much better experience. But at the end of the movie, Thanos does his snap from the comics. Once he gets his hands on all 6 Infinity Stones, he has the Reality Stone, the Time Stone, the Power Stone, the Space Stone, and the Soul Stone. The last one he has to get is a Mind Stone, and which is really interesting the way he does it. Scarlet Witch kills Vision. She completely destroys the Mind Stone, which kills Vision. However, Thanos uses the Time Stone. I thought this was really clever. Thanos uses the Time Stone to bring Vision back to life, just to rip the Mind Stone out of his forehead. And I don't mean I mean full on fucking rip it out of his face. There's a crater in Vision's face. And Vision dies. Obviously. He has a hole in his face. And Thanos now has all 6 Infinity Stones. And Thor uses Stormbreaker, because Stormbreaker is supposed to be a Thanos-killing weapon, in the words of Thor. And he throws it at Thanos. Hits him right in the chest. Sticks right in the chest. Thanos utters 7 words. Count them out. Said, "You should have aimed for the head." Snap. Immediately, half of the Avengers are gone. Spidey dies. Doctor Strange dies. Star-Lord dies. Drax dies, Mantis dies, Winter Soldier, Falcon, Black Panther, who am I missing? And Scarlet Witch. They're all dead. Gone. Just fucking dead. Oh, also, Nick Fury and Maria Hill. Those are important. And God knows how many fucking civilians. But, that's another shot for you. God, why am I blanking on what I'm doing? So yeah, after Thanos does the infamous snap from the Infinity Gauntlet storyline, I believe he gets transported inside the Soul Stone, because he gets transported to this orangish, reddish looking place, and he talks to the embodiment of young Gamora, basically saying, "You did it? Yes. How much did it cost? Everything." And then, I don't know exactly where he was in that last part, but it looked like a fixed up Titan. Ah! It looked like, yeah, it looked like a revitalized Titan. Because it was all green and lush and all this. But I don't know. I don't know. What's your guys' thoughts? Let me know down in the comments. It's kind of a shitty video, but anyway, let me know what you guys think. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know down in the comments below. But my advice, go check out this video for yourselves. It was absolutely phenomenal. I said this in my non-spoiler review, but this movie was a 10 out of 10. I could not have asked for a better Infinity War. The stakes were high, the stakes were real, there was laughter, there were tears, believe me, there were tears. And it was, all in all, it was an absolutely phenomenal movie that you need to check out. It's 2.5 hours long, I believe. The longest Marvel Cinematic Universe movie to date. And it's completely worth your time. My advice, go see it in 3D. It's so much better in 3D. Anywho, it's going to be it for this video. If you guys did enjoy this video and you would like to show some support, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share with your friends, comment down below. All that good stuff you do when you like someone. And yeah, as always, I'm Team Silver Spark, and thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!